Hello, Tom Lavecchia here with the latest edition of, and a very special edition of, the New Theory podcast. For those on audio, iTunes, Spotify, etc., we really appreciate you checking out and staying with the show. Check out my other show, The Armchair MBA, also on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. So we're going to be talking some NFTs today, crypto, and all the stuff that people get scared of. We got two extremely, like each individual interview would get me excited, but them two together combine a powerhouse. First, Dr. Murray Friedman, ex-surgeon. We'll get into that. Now tech guru. Dr. Friedman, welcome to the New Theory podcast. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. Ben Weiss, CEO of FlightX. I know Ben a little bit, but I'm going to get to know him a little better on the podcast. So we'll get this rolling. So, Dr. Friedman, I want to bug you first. You got an interesting story. You were like the good guy. You went to school. You were a surgeon. Just kind of give us a little background and context to what brought you here.
Yeah, well, I graduated Columbia University School of Dental and Oral Surgery, did a residency in maxillofacial surgery, a one-year
Wow.
general residency in Woodhull Hospital
Yeah.
in
I know
Brooklyn,
Woodhull.
right? I practiced for about 15 years, and I hurt my arm. I had 4 operations on my arm, so I couldn't practice anymore. My parents were Holocaust survivors, so I thought about them. Where were they at 39 DP camps in Germany? So I said, you know what? God doesn't want me to be in this place in dentistry anymore. So guess what? You're not going to get depressed. I'm just going to open the door to new stuff, and became an entrepreneur.
Really quick. I was walking into Woodhull.
Yeah.
I was in hospital sales. I was a manager at the time, regional manager, and I'm walking in with my rep, and there was like kind of armed guards, and like almost like part of it was like boarded up, and like armed guards a whole bit. And me being me, I'm like why do you need armed guards for for an ED, emergency room? And they said the problem is a lot of these GSWs, gunshot wounds, the guys like to come in and finish the job.
Right.
So
Yeah.
although I compliment them on their tenacity, I don't compliment them, I guess, on their given vocation. I want to unpack this a little bit before we get to Ben. What was it like your whole life? You're supposed to be this, and again, it's funny because before we onboarded, I called him a dentist. Meanwhile, he's an oral maxillofacial surgeon.
No, I didn't finish. I didn't finish that program. I did a lot of surgery.
Nevertheless, you were a surgeon. It's like I know a lot of dentists.
I did a lot of, and I did a lot of work with the staff of Woodhull. There were always gunshot wounds. At the time, this is 1989. We were the second hospital in line for trauma behind Kings County. So we were really, really busy all the whole time. But it was an unbelievable experience. It really was. And hats off to all the guys that do it. I mean, if I wanted to get a snack and the cafeteria was closed, we had to run across the street by Broadway and Fulton. Literally, you feel like you're dodging bullets. So I know what you're talking about, and hats off to all the police officers, that in the 79 to 83, I remember we used to patch them up all the time, and they were just great people that held it down.
God bless.
It was a fantastic experience from a surgical point of view, so it's not a bad experience for me. I tried to, as much as I could, be part of the trauma team. When I was there, I did a lot of trauma work, under the affiliation of the maxillofacial surgery service, which is a great service. And then when I went to practice, I felt very, very secure in doing anything I wanted, because I pretty much did everything already. In space. And also it gave us a perspective. One of the companies that I had was called Implant Logic Systems, and we were the first ones to help do computer guided surgery. That's where I started working with computers and stuff that. in the late '90s, and we ended up selling that company to Health South. Bio Horizons was, Health South was a parent company. Bio Horizons was an implant company, and a lot of different things. I started a company in, that was kind of a WebMD before WebMD.
Yeah.
And a lot of different stuff. So, I've been both entrepreneurial and tech. It's a fantastic place to be. It really is.
God bless.
And right now we do compute. If you see behind, we have this is the brochure we give to doctors. We do
compounding,
computerized custom made medications now.
Yeah.
So,
I worked in the pharmaceutical and medical device space, for like 20 years combined. And
Wow.
Nice.
Big pharma, compounds always knew this, but big pharma, they're trying to map out, they already mapped out the genome, obviously. But what they're trying to do is they're going to try to make tailorized medicine.
Yep.
But that's the opposite of scale. Like, you can't scale that, right? Because then if Ben gets this, Tom gets that, Murray gets that. So the fact that you do kind of like map it out, computerize, and then administer it on the compounding level, that's amazing. Because I don't think big pharma could ever figure it out. And number
it's
two,
custom. Because you're 100. You're very astute, and you're 100% right. Because pharma, they want to make billions of pills or billion, and we do everything on a 1-by-1 basis. So it's really beautiful.
So you're in the right space there. And again, I mixed bag, candidly, when I deal with like a lot of physicians that get into business. But the fact that you caught the tech bug, you know what you're doing. I think you have the moxie for it. Well, I know you have the moxie for it. So that's really exciting. We'll unpack more of that in a minute. Ben, I know Ben a little bit. I met him through my friend. I'm excited to talk to you. You're the up-and-comer. You're teaching us whippersnappers some stuff. Tell us a little bit about FlightX and some of the stuff that you've been working on.
So what we've been working on at FlightX is really enabling. That's fine, Tom. So it's really enabling the entire industry to shift from people hearing about NFTs and hearing about Bitcoin since the invention by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009 towards people figuring out how to make this technology useful and acceptable in the mainstream. It's not like people are going to the store and paying with Bitcoin right now or Ethereum. It's not like people are necessarily, they own an NFT and are going out and using that NFT, going to events and using that as a replacement for tickets. So what we want to do is create really innovative projects with superstars or large brands, or even just projects in general without any of the above, that enable the entire consumer base to get into it because they've all heard about it, and it's time that they get into NFTs and cryptocurrency.
So everybody knows this. Sometimes, if you're during the gold rush, you don't make money selling the gold or in the land. You sell money on the picks, the axes, and so forth, the shovels. And it kind of seems like you're making things easier and finding that utility. I admittedly did not get into crypto. I'm a late adopter.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Start you soon. Yeah.
Ben and Dr. Friedman will. So with that said, though, my first question every time I turn it down is, what was utility? When there was a pause or there was an issue, I got turned off. But if you either provide the utility or if you can map, connect the utility, that's serious. That's serious business.
It's exactly what we want to do. We want to make. We're creating two platforms now. One is an NFT platform that's very, very easy to use, that people can either buy NFTs that they want, or from our customers that are signing up with us, a lot of stars and that are going to be dropping NFTs.
Nice.
You can literally, it's an app, and 2 seconds you can buy, 2 seconds you can, well, not 2 seconds, but you register and whatever, and just like any other app, in a few seconds you can buy, you can sell, you can be part of it. And same thing with cryptocurrency, where we have a app that's coming out, probably come out the end of June, July. It's going to be in alpha in about 2 weeks. that you want to buy cryptocurrency, you want to actually, it's mining cryptocurrency. Besides buying and selling, it's also mining. So people mining, a lot of companies are out there. They're telling you can make so much money mining, but in the end, they're not doing it efficiently, and you end up losing money because you don't know how to do it, and they know how to do it, but they might be using antiquated equipment. They might be in a state the electricity is very high. In the end, you make nothing. But meanwhile, when we do it, and we've done it, and we already have a few hundred units under management, our returns are astounding. I mean, 20%.
Almost like an arbitrage, right? Like you're gonna mine, and you're gonna squeak out a little bit more than what we're paying you, and it's a unit play, almost like an arbitrage in a way. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, that's what other people do. What we do is you can actually buy your own rig, and we just manage it for you, or your own. Let's say you can't afford to buy a rig for $18,000 or $20,000, right? So we can even sell you an eighth of a node, which is like 1/28th of a rig, because we want to be kind of like the Robin Hood, so you can get in for under $200. And you'll make
exactly.
So you can co-op a rig, take over a rig, or if you have an appetite and budget for it, you could buy a whole swath of rigs essentially.
Right. If you're a hedge fund and you want to buy 30 rigs, 100 rigs, 1,000 rigs, we'll be there to manage it, maintain it, and make sure you're making. I mean, I've seen some of the returns, and they're astounding. I mean, astounding. And if you want to be a regular guy and just say, listen, I want to be in it, and I can be in it for $200. You're in it for $200, and you're making $30-$40 a year. We're going to have programs that we could take that money, cash it out, and like a direct reinvestment plan, and get another node or another whatever you want to do.
That's why I wanted to ask, because when people buy their shares and they get involved, it's capital intensive, right? So how are you? Again, you guys are private, I assume, and you don't have to disclose everything. But VC money, self-funded, co-op, and then two, with the money that's made, you mentioned you can get it sent to you, or you can invest it back in. A, what's your funding structure, and then B, how are you going to maintain growth while still possibly offering a dividend? I just want to reconcile that a little bit.
Well, it's not really a dividend. It's the money that your section, let's call it a rig. We'll just start at a regular, you own your own rig. So whatever your rig makes, you get. We take a small percentage, 10%.
Oh, so this is like it's almost like a REIT in a way.
Kind of.
Real estate investment trust.
Well, what we're doing is What we're doing is we're enabling people that have heard about mining and have heard about this type of lucrative return, which is a bigger return than buying a coin outright, or even just potentially buying an NFT outright. We're enabling them to get into it through a simple way, and then even also, like what Murray was saying before, Dr. Murray, also enabling them to get into it from a price point, because there's two problems, Tom. Problem one is that it hasn't been easy, and then all the options that have been set up. You go on a website, you want to buy mining, you want to go buy a mining rig. Well, a lot of these websites have been shut down. It's not easy to buy. There's the cloud. The cloud options are options that are potentially potentially won't even give you good returns, like Murray was saying. So what we've done is we've identified those problems. We have rigs that are built to last for 4 years plus. A lot of rigs can be only 2 years. We have an easy way for people through our application to get into it, and even then also the entire general public can get in for $180, and also big traditional hedge funds. So we're solving the three problems that have disallowed mining from going mainstream, which is what will happen when we released June, July.
Wow. And you're making double the money, because you're making when you mine it, it depends on your hash rate. So you're still mining Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
But whether the Ethereum is 3,200, 3,000, 28, or 5,000, you're still mining the same amount of Ethereum. Number one. So you're making money on the Ethereum going up, the appreciation. and you're making money on the rig itself because you're mining. So you're mining, you're getting, and then you're making money on the appreciation of it.
And you own that rig, and you
Right, you own it.
Yeah.
So your return
It's
on
yours.
investment is so much better as opposed to buying it and hoping it goes up.
You know where this is brilliant, and it's kind of a two-pronged approach. You're almost democratizing NFTs and the like, right?
Right.
But then you
That's
also,
exactly.
which doesn't hurt,
Exactly.
you can also accept institutional money, which may almost kind of fund everything else and making it easier for the democratization. What do you do to hedge if I'm with you when you produce more, it goes up? I'm with you on that, right? And although like Ethereum obviously is pretty steady, let's say you go into other cryptos or other spaces and you have a precipitous decline. How do you hedge against that? Or how would you hedge?
I mean,
It's just
it's
like
about
in the
consistency.
stock market, dollar cost averaging. Whatever goes up
Right.
goes down. Whatever goes down, it goes in cycles.
So this is a commitment, okay? Because so obviously again it goes up. It's like you buy a stock, right? Buy for $1, it goes up to $5. You made money in appreciation, and if there's a dividend or K1 or whatever, even better, right? If it goes down, I can reinvest to buy more of it if I stay steady. So this seems like what I like is a longer term play. I mean, this is.
Remember what you bought, what your rig that you bought is yours.
Correct.
Okay, we're
Exactly.
managing it for you. We're paying your electric bill for you. We're doing everything for you, and we're also, if we can, one day we'll even be arbitraging the crypto,
profits.
the profits to get
Correct.
more, get less.
That's what I wanted to ask. I was wondering because since you guys are mining it and you hold on to it and it goes up, obviously you can release it. And if it goes down, you might just say, hey, let's make more and then let's buy more. So
Right.
There's a lot of different ways. It's
Doubling down. You're doubling down, right? And you make more money that way because sooner or later it's going to cycle back up. It's like the people who in 2008 when in the crash, anyone who said, oh, got nervous, oh my God, and they sold everything, that's who lost. The people who stayed in and say, okay, listen, it went down, hopefully it'll go up. And a year later, in 2010, they made it up, they made it back, plus they made 20-30%. So, it pays to kind of double down.
Right.
And the more you make, and
it pays to be consistent.
Right, exactly. So you keep it in. These are your rigs. You're in for 3-4 years. Actually, we've created a system that some of the rigs will even be able to last up to 6 years. However, you know that computers every 3 or 4 years they get faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
So we plan on one day, having people, just like leasing a car. We'll take the old machine back. We give you a credit towards a new machine, and then you are making even more because the hash rates are more. You're getting more Ethereum. It's worth it. It's like it's worth it because you're making more Ethereum, and Ethereum is going up, or we're cycling. So in that case, when you look at the arbitrage, you're always making. As long as you're making more Ethereum, you're making more currency, you're always in the better place because you're.
And what we can do for you is like once you're making that certain amount of coins, it's the exact reason why do people still have PayPal accounts and why do they bank accounts? If PayPal is an easier way to transact online, you would think then PayPal would have went the next step and enable people to go and have and make more money from their money they have in PayPal, so they would keep it in there. So it would go the next step, and you don't need your Bank of America, your Wells Fargo, Chase.
So you're built in almost to the point of a financial ecosystem.
We just kept it. So now it's our next step.
So you're building a system of almost having your financial ecosystem, right? And I don't want to get too far ahead, but that might warrant its own coin. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
It's in the back, but it's in the background. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I want to tell you something. Yeah. You're a really smart dude.
No, I think a lot of guests. I don't really want to reveal all the secrets. I'm going to have to sign an NDA and bury this interview. Right. So with that said, okay, so I'm definitely buying what you're selling. So when you go live, let's say you go beta, then you go live. Is there?
We're creating you an account. Yes, we are.
I'll be customer number one. So would I buy in as a service? Hey, you're gonna be a service provider. You're gonna buy in, or I get a chance to maybe. Are you selling off like some equity as part of a raise? What's kind of the early adopters gonna get?
That's a great question. We're tossing that back and forth. We've had some people that want to get equity in the company, and we have people that just say, "No, listen, I just want rigs and they're mine." And so we have both models available. People who want to invest and they're accredited investors, they can come in as an equity buy.
Yeah.
And people who want to just buy rigs, the app will be up and running very soon. You can,
So Dr. Friedman, I can myself, right? I can buy in. Let's say I'm willing to pay the freight, the $18,000 for the rig. I can co-op one of your current rigs. I don't need to have the computerized system, that kind of stuff. Or do I need to get the hardware in my house as well?
No. We don't want you to have the hardware in your house.
Beautiful.
Then we can't manage it. Look, if your system goes down, we don't want you on the phone saying, something happened. Can you come look? No, we have 24/7, on the fly. If something goes down, we know about it in a minute, and we're correcting the problem.
Yeah.
If we could troubleshoot from our offices, we troubleshoot. Otherwise, we have people on site 24/7. They'll go to that rig, and either if they can't fix it, we have other rigs that we just like pop this one out, put another one in, and you're up and running, and then we go fix it someplace else. But you're always running.
Exactly.
Now this goes without saying, but I'm making this up. You have 200 rigs. I'm assuming they are geographically decentralized to hedge against, different storms, increases in electricity, maybe some adverse events, that kind of stuff that can happen, a godlike type events, right? I'm guessing that these rigs are decentralized, correct or no?
The current rigs right now are in about 3 different locations.
Yeah.
But those locations will be we're going to build them up. They're going to have much more rigs in those locations, but we do have.
What I'm guessing is those 3 aren't down the street from each other.
No, they're all different locations, and the goal is to have it as spread out as possible. So also, but of course, in that makes sense, because we want you, when you buy a rig with us, you buy a fractional ownership of a rig, a node, which is what we call it, a node. So a rig is a certain amount of pieces, and a node is one of those pieces. So when you buy a node with us, besides the fact that of course we want it to be a traditional investment product, and enabling you to be able to earn a proper return, we have to make sure that investment, you're covered and you earn consistently. So the beauty of having rigs versus coins is that you're kind of betting, like Murray said before, Tom, you're basically betting on other people buying or selling that coin, and then the demand of the market which can be affected by world events. There's no effect.
Yeah,
there's no effect like that.
You're buying the eggs, not the chicken.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's why you buy the chicken. You buy the chicken, not the eggs.
Exactly.
And the eggs that continue to produce versus buying the eggs themselves. So that makes sense. I hate to do this, and I feel bad.
And so own the eggs.
Yeah, exactly. And both. Exactly. Eggs and chicken.
But that's owning the eggs is exactly
that's the both worlds.
But owning the eggs, going back to before, is the NFTs. NFTs, you're creating your own, and that's you're creating your own NFT, whatever NFT.
Yeah.
And that's the platform also. It's like artwork. It appreciates, and you want to go and you want to buy something that you feel that feels good about you, that makes you feel good. And that's, you want to, when you look at that, it's just like someone who owns beautiful artwork, they look at it and it makes them feel good. It makes them soar. That's why we created the name Flights, because it's something that raises you up, it raises your feelings up. It makes you feel empowered. And that's what NFTs in the metaverse. It's not just, I have a pretty picture on the wall. It's something that we want to make the metaverse into something that's like, when there wasn't any internet, you had your artwork, and then you had the internet, and you get a 60-year-old guy like, old fart like me, the internet, and you're like in the computer and you don't know what to do. But now you have a metaverse that should really be very reactive and very intuitive and proactive with you. And if people can open up their minds to kind of like the big space of the metaverse, that's the beauty of the metaverse, and that's the beauty of NFTs. And that's why we feel that cryptocurrency and NFTs, the platforms, are great together.
Yeah, it's about taking flight,
and it's also going to appreciate so much these things that we're into. We're providing to everybody. These are tools to make you feel good, to make you feel secure, but it's keys to wealth. And we want everybody, like you said before, Tom, to democratize everything for everybody. It's not just the rich and famous to go and buy artwork and take a Matisse and put it in their or a Rembrandt and put it in their house. This is stuff that you can feel good about, and it also makes you money. So
before Ben, because I want to hear what Ben has to say too. Obviously, because he is, you guys, this is exciting for me. My son plays Roblox, right? And I didn't buy into the NFT concept. I didn't buy into kind of like this is BS until he wanted $50 in Roblox or Robux, whatever the hell it's called, because he had to buy a hat to put on his avatar and a skin, and I'm paying real money for him to have that. So as a father, I get it, and obviously, Roblox is, I guess, probably one of the earlier metaverses or spaces. But as the communities grow, you're right. You can be there to kind of furnish that with NFTs. Imagine having your house in the metaverse, having your NFT on the wall, mined by you guys. So Ben, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So if you just want to kind of, you said it's going to take flight, and give us kind of your background on that.
Yeah. So basically, it's like this. Like what women are focusing on with flights is, it's like he was saying, it's taking flight into something that's unknown. You want to take a leap. You want to jump off a precipice and discover greatness. And a lot of people have heard about this space, and what we're trying to do with the mining and as well as with NFTs, it's the same general theme. It's a theme of helping people get into the space through easy access and through something they understand. And this is in a similar manner akin to exactly what Steve Jobs did originally with computers. There was always companies that IBM had huge computers. They were used for corporations. And he's like, let's make it for consumers, and then let's make it useful for consumers. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to have programs like Photoshop. And what we're doing is enabling the entire NFT space and crypto space, enabling people to, of course, have a lucrative investment, but also to buy something simply, understand what a mining rig is. It's a computer that makes coins. The coins that you, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, those coins can be used for payments, and that's going to start. An NFT can be bought, in a simple way. You may not necessarily need Ethereum. And by doing that, you can go out there and you can have an access pass. And an access pass, which is an NFT, can get you into to go into a concert. It's much simpler than people think, but it's been so confused and almost discombobulated by some of the things that have been out there. And what Murray and I are trying to do is just make it simple, Tom. That's it.
Yeah, and I know some of the leaders in the space, like Gary Vaynerchuk. I had the pleasure of interviewing him a few years back. What he's doing is, you buy in. I don't know why a pizzeria in Westfield, New Jersey, doesn't sell an NFT for $5,000, and you get pizza for life.
Right, it's genius.
Pizza for life, and it's going to hit Main Street. Dr. Friedman, we're gonna give us kind of your closing remarks, because please put me on the friends and family round. Send me the prospectus. I'll be there with 2 checks. But Dr. Friedman, if you want to kind of summarize and close out, and then we'll have Ben as well.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having us. We really enjoyed it. It was very, very enjoyable. It wasn't like a stuffed shirt kind of interview, so I really appreciate it. Like I kind of summed it up before. We're here to make things simple. We're here to help people, and you said it right, democratize these spaces. It doesn't have to be complicated to buy an NFT, and you can go looking for something that you like, that makes you feel good, that makes you soar, that makes you want to empower yourself and feel good about yourself. And as far as the cryptocurrency, we want everybody to, not just the big hedge funds. Not that I have anything against hedge funds. we love hedge funds, but not just, it's for everybody. Even if you have a small investment to start building yourself, and just, it just takes a little bit, and you let it roll, and you reinvest and let it roll, and the next thing you know, $200 becomes 1,000, 1,000 becomes 5,000. 5,000, in 10 years can be 500,000.
Compound, yeah.
Because we're, our rates are many double digits for cryptocurrency mining and the appreciation of the cryptocurrency. So there are some people who are making 20-30%, and we'd like to be that for everybody, not just rich people. We're all rich. I mean, God gave everybody a certain amount of time in this world.
That's
what
right.
He makes per hour is the only differentiation. So if we can help people, make more money per hour and through investment, that's a great legacy for us to, at least for me. Ben's going to be here a lot longer than I am, but that's a great legacy in the beginning to leave behind. And
God,
firmly want to help people do this for themselves.
God bless Dr. Friedman. And Ben?
Yeah. So, it's been important to us to be able to help other people get into this space. I was introduced to crypto when I was on a year abroad in Israel, and there was a buddy of mine who was really into it then. And I gave him like $500. I was like, put it into some stuff, and it was a great time. I mean, it went up and then it completely went down, but then it went up down the road, and it was so difficult to get in. It was so difficult, but these investments were so opportune and lucrative, and the technology itself was beautiful, and it was something that the blockchain technology is something that can have such a real world impact on so many industries, and it's an endless plethora of industries and good that can come out of something like this. So Marie and I we both have that shared vision, and we know you do too, Tom. And like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do some good and really help people get into some stuff that's cool and is important. It's important to push a blockchain technology forward, a technology empowering Web3 and freedom of speech and freedom of religion, etc. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Because again, after you have your own NFT, then there's a social component. Wow. I see the what do they call it, the forest from the trees on this one, like a mile away, and and I'm not the smartest guy, so that's what makes this easy. We're going to keep tabs on you guys. I want to thank Matt Byers for setting this up. And truth be told, seriously, have me on the list. And we're going to closely watch you. And we're going to celebrate your guys' success. Thank you guys for being on the New Theory podcast.